Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa West. I'm here at the Pulp Culture Shop in Newmarket, Ontario with the fabulous Jonathan Brookins. So excited to be interviewing him today. Why don't you tell us where you live and where you're training, who you're training with right now?
I'm living in, I guess I am responsible enough to hold this. So. I'm living in Orlando, Florida, and training at the Gracie Barra Orlando. And but I'm going to get on the road, and I'm going to start traveling. I'm going to go first to New York, Manhattan, to train with hopefully John Danaher and them at Renzo Gracie's, and kind of sharpen up my jiu-jitsu game. And just kind of enjoy training with different people, and hopefully come back to Toronto in December. So I'm just going to get on the road and hop around a little bit.
So we were talking a little bit before the interview, and you were saying that you like Toronto a lot.
I do like Toronto a lot. I think Toronto's an excellent, very excellent city. I really want to spend some time here, because every time I come, I'm like, this is magnificent. It's huge. I love diversity. That's huge to me. And any place I go where it's very diverse, I just want to kind of soak up as much as I can. And this is really one of those cities, so it's really cool.
Yeah, Toronto definitely has that.
Yeah.
So how has becoming a UFC fighter changed your life?
I'll let you hold it too, switching back and forth. Sorry. It's changed my life for the better. It's definitely allowing me to kind of grow in the ways that I really seek and need to kind of grow and expand internally and externally. Like, not even just physically, it allows me to kind of work on my physical self and transform and stuff, which is always nice to stay in shape and things. But internally, there's just so many ups and downs, which allows you to kind of face your inner turmoil, your inner struggles. And I couldn't ask for more to grow up, to face challenges, to kind of look at myself in the mirror sometimes and say, I need to be better than who I am, and how do I do this? Because, to be successful in this industry, I need to grow up. So I'm just constantly being faced with that, and I'm thankful for an outlet that makes me do that, makes me look at myself, and makes me rise to the occasion.
That's pretty powerful. Okay, I have some names here that I'm going to read off, and I want you to just give me a sentence or two response to them. Okay? Charles Bennett.
Awesome guy. He's so cool. He's one of my favorite fighters ever, and also a really good friend, and one of my first kind of mentors in the sport. And a lot of people would say, Charles Bennett is you're a mentor? That's more than two sentences. But Charles Bennett is an excellent guy, despite what you might find or read about him on the internet. He's an excellent person.
Josh Koscheck.
Not as cool as Charles Bennett. He's okay. I like him, He just, he just kind of. I shouldn't say that. I mean, he just, he is Josh Koscheck, man. He's over there, and other people are other places. So, but he's good, man. Actually, no, excellent fighter. Because his last fight, he was phenomenal, man. So I will say he's a superb athlete. So he's cool.
Michael Johnson.
I like Michael Johnson a lot. I like Michael a whole lot. I think Michael Johnson's going to have a really good career in the UFC. He's already won more fights in the UFC than I have, so I think, yeah. So, yeah, he's on his way. He's good, man. I like him a lot. He's a hard worker, and we're still friends, so I can't wait to see him again and hang out with him.
GSP?
GSP's great, legend. I think one of my favorite fighters of all time, and definitely was a gift of a coach. I couldn't have asked for any other coach, maybe besides BJ Penn. I just couldn't have asked for. And with who GSP brought in when I was training with him on The Ultimate Fighter, and then he brought into the house and exposed us to, he's just a phenomenal person. He's really, really incredible.
Cody McKenzie.
Cody's good. I like Cody a ton. Cody's a great friend of mine. Cody, he's unique, one of a kind. I should have said about Charles Bennett too, one of a kind, but Cody's really one of a kind. He's really a special dude. He just he's a great friend. He's a great training partner. He's a natural fighter. He's just got full of gifts. He's actually a really good artist, and he's one of my favorite people I've ever met. So I like Cody a lot.
BJ Penn.
BJ's great. BJ's fighting tonight, and hopefully he just really, really does well. He's probably, to me, embodies a legend in the sport I've never he gives out so much love. It is unreal, man. I mean, the way he treats people, fans, friends of his, man, it's like really kind of embodies that, like what they say in like Hawaii, like aloha. They're like really about the love. If you have like enough aloha, then you're really welcome, and you know they really want to spread that too. So it's like spread aloha, and it's like when you're around him, or when you kind of get that sense that he really embodies that. BJ's got a lot of love, so I mean that's probably why the world loves him back. He's incredible.
And Dana White.
I can't even say anything about Dana White. For one, I don't want to get in trouble. Two, I don't even know the dude, so you know he's way up here, man. Guys like me are way down here. So as far as Dana White's concerned, I got to just try a little harder to get on his radar. So I'm gonna try.
You still practicing yoga?
I am still practicing yoga. I just got a new Manduka mat. You like those? I was gonna get a Lululemon mat, but I just got a new mat. So I'm gonna, try to just practice a lot more. Been mostly doing like kind of like more almost like power yoga type classes, But I'd probably like to get into more of like an Ashtanga and Hatha as well, because I've been doing more like the power flows, like more flow classes, kind of just working on like my body a little bit. But, I'm always really into meditation as well. So, and the meditation and the breath, and I have a really hard time really connecting to like my breath and things. So I'll probably take a little bit more slowed down classes. But every once in a while I get really into like the physical practice, the physical flow. And but I've been practicing a lot in Orlando, and I hope to, everywhere I go, I always like to try to find, before my last fight, I found a really good hot studio to kind of cut some weight. Instead of sitting in the sauna, I went and did a hot yoga class, and it worked out excellent, so it was cool.
So how do you find the yoga and the meditating help you with your fighting?
Well, they don't really as much help me, like, with just, with actually, like, punching or kicking or as much. Well, the flexibility helps a ton, all over the place. But for the most part, it'll help me out and just make my overall like well-being in life, which then can transpire into anything else. Whether you're a painter or a chef or anything. If you feel better about yourself, if you feel better throughout your day, then you're just going to be better at what you do. So that's what I really like about yoga. It just really allows me to kind of feel better, and as if I feel better, I'm going to train better. So that's kind of like my theory on it.
So on The Ultimate Fighter, you came across as the spiritual person on the show. How important is spirituality to your life?
Very important. Very, very important. Because without it, I feel like I was definitely without a connection to like spirituality. Once I got off the show, I kind of really got lost for like a long time, and I didn't understand why. I knew I was feeling lost. I was telling people, man, I feel so lost, man, And I think I was just like, without the connection to things that I hold true to myself. I wasn't really practicing, what I preach, and without that, I don't do well, and I don't go in the direction that I know I'm supposed to go. So spirituality to me is a way of living. It's a way of being. It's a way of finding inner truths that that you figured out through yourself. That you figured out through life. You say, I've lived like this, and I've watched enough of these things to happen that I know that this is true. That if X, then Y. I know if I'm mean to somebody, they're not going to feel good, and they're not going to like me. So that's the truth. That to be the truth. You've learned those things, and that way of living, of finding out, truths about the world and growing is really, really important to me. So I think I'm on the right track now. So I really can't wait till my next fight. I think I'm going to do a lot better. So
tell me about how you're preparing and training for your next fight.
It's a secret. No, it's I'm just gonna train with a lot of people, find a lot of different partners, and really kind of just enjoy my time rather than being stressed out about this or if I'm doing the right thing or all this. I'm just gonna just kind of slow down, take some deep breaths, and just really enjoy every day of training and every opportunity I get to train with new people, and just really a big key is just to enjoy what I'm doing, and that's going to be my difference to this training camp versus my last one.
And what do you feel like you learned from your loss against Jose Aldo? I
learned a lot then, but now I just lost again, so that was my first loss since then. So now I learned, a lot about I learned a lot more about myself in this one. In the last one, in Jose Aldo, I learned a lot about like physical. Like I learned a lot more about fighting. This last loss, I didn't really feel like I lost because like I wasn't a good enough fighter. I just didn't fight well, you know. So that taught me a lot more about what I do outside of the cage. You know, that I need to do, fix those things so that you don't come into the cage less than who you really are. So, and that's kind of like the lessons that I've learned in my losses.
Okay, so you mentioned that you train with Cody McKenzie. We all want to know what the guillotine's like.
It's hard to stop, that's for sure. He puts that guillotine on like crazy, like all the time. Like he gets in the most wildest positions. He always just like, you know, he's just scrappy, man. He's just got this like, he's just one of the scrappiest dudes, man. I'm just like, I'm so impressed for it. You know, I just can't wait to see him. I want to see him really do well in the UFC.
Well, thank you so much, Jonathan, for this interview, and thank you for the Pulp Culture Shop in Newmarket, Ontario, for this opportunity. And I think that's it.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks.